Hello all, morning and good evening. Happy learning. Today we are going to see architect overview in Genesys Cloud web portal. Let's look at it now. So this center contains architect help articles. Browse through these categories for articles. Use the glossary to look up acronyms and definitions, or use search to locate information. So here is what is architect. So architect is an easy to learn drag and drop web-based design tool that creates flow for media types. So basically, architect is one of the tool part of a Genesys Cloud contact center software, which is used to develop call flows. Where, for an example, inbound flow, in-queue flow, outbound flow, and also supporting flows. For an example, common module. The common module is used for all other flows. We can reuse. We can make use of reusability, reusing the flows across all different flows. That's one of the advantages. The architect uses menus and straight to queues logic, most often associated with the traditional auto attendance. So once you create a architect flow, it has some menus, and then based on the menus selection by the customer, it will transfer the call to the queue directly. That's how we are going to design the call flow. Once it is routed to the queue, then it will check the on queue agents and then assign the call to the agents, which will happen automatically in Genesys Cloud out of box feature, which is already available. However, it also incorporates advanced future rich logical operation such as non-menu digit collection. So you don't need to type the digit collection manually. Instead, you can also use the voiceover option to select the main menus. And also, we have external data access, data diffs logic. You can interact with the external system. For an example, CRM database, particularly like a Salesforce database. You can uh, query through web service actions, um, and return the output to the Genesis the architect call flows. um, Later you can start processing with those data and utilize it in the call flow. So basically the Genesis Cloud supports actions to interact with the external data sources. And also we have a conditional logic and expression editing to help develop the IVR functionality. For here is a expression logic. Expression editing means each and every tool. For an example, updated data, you can create a variable, a string variable, integer variable, or boolean variable. So in that expression, you can write your condition logic. For an example, or condition, uncondition. So writing this logic where to route the call flow based on that your expression, it will route it automatically. That feature is covered as part of architect. Architect also provides centralized prompt management with multi-language support. So this prompt management is nothing but in the architect itself, we have a prompt option. Under the prompt, you can upload all the audio file. You can record your voice and upload the prompt, or else you can upload the prompts from external prompts. You can upload it and then configure the multi-language support. More than one language, you can select it. For an example, English and Spanish. If you want to support it with the same prompt, whatever the prompt you are creating, that audio file for both the language, you need to upload the audio file so that in the runtime, it will play automatically based on the language selected in the call flow. Yeah, let's move on to this architecture diagram here. This architecture interaction routing overview diagram. Initially, we have to work on the Genesys Cloud admin to configure these things, which is the foremost thing we have to cover it so that we can make use of it while developing the call flow in the architect. So initially, we have to check and create a schedule. Schedule is the hours of operation, when to operate it, when to close it. Those schedule you can create it manually, and then assign it to the schedule group. Schedule group is another tool. You can assign all the schedule, whatever the schedule you are already created for this particular business unit. You can assign it over here. Here we have the schedule group will have five options like open hours, closed hours, holiday, and then mm, emergency. Those Yeah, so basically it has four options to configure your schedules. Based on that, you can assign the schedule groups into call route. Genesys Cloud has the call routing. When you create a call routing, you can uh, use this schedule group to assign it over here. So if your schedule is open, then it will route the call to the open hours of flow logic. Otherwise, it will go to the closed hours flow. So you can have a same flow, or else you can use a separate flow for this scenario, open hours and closed hours. Basically, most of them they used to have a same flow, and within the flow you can write the logic. uh, like you can check the schedule group whether it is open, means you can maintain the open hours logic, or else you can move the logic to closed hours logic. This is how it works in the architect flow. Here is the option. If your call has to be transferred to the external number, then you can use the transfer to numbers option. That is action. We used to call it as action. The call will be transferred to the particular phone number of the external contact. So those features are supported in the Genesys Cloud architecture flow. So as we said, so if it is a open hours, it will go to the open hours logic. Before that, we have to focus on this DAD configuration as well. DAD is dial invert, direct invert dialing. So here we have a lot of DAD numbers in the pool. We can check and assign it to the our call flow, call routing part. Each DAD is based on the TFN number, the toll-free number the customer used to call to the contact center. The TFN is directly mapped to the DAD number in the Genesys Cloud. So if you have a DAD already configured in the call route, then only call will be routed to your flow. So once the call reaches to the queue, it will check for the available agents and then alert to the agent. Then agent can able to answer the call by clicking on the answer button, and then call will be answered to the customer. So prior to that, the agent also should have some of the configuration. Agent should have some of the skills to be assigned. For an example, English. The agent is proficient with the English language, then we need to assign the language called English. Or else, if the agent is only knows about Spanish, we need to assign the Spanish. So each user, the agent is called as a user. The user will have a separate profile in Genesys Cloud. For them, we have to create a phone and assign to them so that they can use the WebRTC phone from Genesys Cloud web portal, which will directly act as a phone to communicate inbound call and outbound call within Genesys Cloud. And also DID and extension is optional. If the DID is already assigned to the user, that means agent, the customer can able to call to the agent directly, which is possible here, again here. So after configuring these things for the skill, phone, and DID to the agent, the member have to be the agent have to be activated as part of the queue. So if the agent is already activated part of the queue, for an example, queue is a the test Genesys Cloud. Or that queue is the queue with a member is already activated means then call will be sent to the agent. So in case if the call is reaches to queue and all the agents are busy with other calls, in that scenario, the queue will go to in queue flow and play the in queue treatments. The in queue treatment means the customer will hear the prompt like your estimated wait time is 2 minutes. So you can wait, or else you can give a voicemail to create a call back to you, as soon as possible. So those kind of treatments we can customize it using a prompts, and then it's a customer choice to press one to give a voicemail. In that scenario, customer can leave a voicemail and then disconnect the call, or else they can keep waiting in the in queue flow until the agent answer the call. This is how it works in Genesis Cloud. So queue and then in queue. So here the as part of the queue, we used to select the routing method. Most of the time we use standard routing and best available skills. Then call will be routed to the agent. The agent is if is the agent is already experienced, they will have a proficiency score. Based on that, the call will be try to route to the agent. If the particular agent is busy, then it will look for the other available agents to route the call. This is how the Genesis system works to route the call automatically. Yeah. So here Genesis Cloud also helps administrators and flow authors build call flows that answer a call automatically. Present the caller with the menu choices. Basically, each call flow will have a menu choices. They can select the menu options. Based on that, call will be routed to the particular department to get clarified on their queries. Then route the call according to the caller choice. So they have to select the menu option. Based on that, call will be answered. The option presented to your customer might change based on the changes to your business. So we can customize anytime based on our business need. We can go and modify all the configuration and call flows modifications. Whether it is a new order, a question, or an issue. These are the menu options. Example, we can construct new order means plus one. A question means two plus two, and if it is an issue, plus three. So based on the user selection, the call will be routed through architect, allows caller to determine their needs by choosing among options. And then to ensure that you route to your customer in the most direct manner, periodically assess your call flow design. Yeah, so we can check on the call flow debug history, whether the call routed effectively to the required agent, the correct agent, or it is routed to some other channel and then finally reaching to the required agent. So those and all we can periodically check and then customize it our call flows, architect call flows, so that the that the call waiting time we can try to minimize it as much as possible. The architect is fully configured and operational. You do not need to download software or upgrade perform upgrades. Yeah, so The architect, the Genesis, basically the Genesis Cloud software is deployed on top of AWS platform. Here, Amazon Web Service plays a major role to play this software always available 24 bar 7. So the customer anytime they can call and make use of this contact center is more responsible to their queries. So you don't need to download and upgrade anything. This is automatically upgrade the software and all from Genesis Cloud team. They will take care of it. Genesis Cloud stores software and your data safely offsite using internet. Whatever you are working on this Genesis Cloud, all the interaction data, the business data will be stored in your database using Genesis Cloud software, which is a safe in the AWS environment. Next one is the access the architect tutorial. Whether you are beginner or intermediate user or advanced call flow designer, this tutorial definitely helps you learn about building a call flow in architect. Yes, you can create different call flows: inbound flow, outbound flow, in key flow, and then board flow, workflow, survey flow. There are lots of flows. You can select the template and start creating your logic using a fictional company with a realistic scenario. The tutorial showcases important architect features with real world examples. Yeah, so you can choose the real world example and then start creating your samples in your own environment. For this, you can use the architect with a trial support edition from Genesis Cloud. For that, you need to create a uh, user profile using your corporate ID, and then once you get your login ID, you can log into this Genesis Cloud web portal and start exploring about this configuration and flows creation part. This tutorial also includes video demonstration to help you navigate the application. Do it yourself exercise and links, suggested content, downloadable sample flows. All these samples all available. You can Google it in the YouTube and start creating basic call flows and also advanced lessons highlight architect features unique to your design. So initially you can start creating a basic call flow. Then later you can create the advanced and complex logic in the architect flow. This is how it works in the architect interaction routing. If you have any further queries, you can post it in the comments. I'm ready. I'm happy to answer your queries always. Kindly subscribe this channel to get more videos related to Genesis Cloud tutorial. Thank you.